let's get into the main fight, the title fight between Roets and Sekeletu. Now, this fight we know didn't quite go the distance. Both guys came into the fight very, very confident. Team CIT on the right, in the challenger, Ken Sekeletu, Roedie Roets, training with Iga the GOAT, Smiley Cabeza, who is currently injured, the current featherweight title holder. And what I have there is wrong. It's not a featherweight title. It's actually the interim featherweight title. This fight ended with a doctor stoppage in the middle, or I think it was a verbal tap out, verbal submission by Roets in the at the end of the first round. Aki, you were there. When you were watching this fight, the first round, how were you feeling? Who did you think was who did you think was winning the fight prior to that stoppage?
To be honest, I think Ken was winning. Ken was winning because he was like more dominating. You know, he was more dominating. Like he was striking. You know, he was striking. He was giving us a fight. You know, obviously Roedie was hugging, as always. You know, he was hugging as always.
Like you said in the previous show, it's gonna be a hug.
Hey, hold on. Now, don't you start taking the piss out of grapplers now, brother. You know what I mean? Big Ang did something special on the weekend, man. You know what I mean?
Like,
the piss out of grapplers, man.
It's insufferable with the Big Ang win this week.
Yeah, man. But like, it was a great card. It was a great fight, actually. Very, very, because I expected Roedie to test Ken. You know, I expected him to test Ken. Like, that's why I was kind of disappointed when he like literally was complaining about like the back of the head shots. You know, but I think I did see a back of the head shot. So, yeah, like I'm hoping they could rerun it. But like, congrats to Ken, man. Like, he brings another title to Team CIT. We will gladly accept that.
We will gladly accept that. Now, this fight, as we said, ended in a verbal submission by Roedie at the end of the first round. He was shaken possibly by a few shots to the head, which he says were illegal, but the referee didn't see anything. The judging team didn't see anything. So when he verbally submitted, the title goes to Ken. Ola, what do you think this means in terms of Sekeletu's credibility as a champion? Because on the socials, they've already been saying, I don't think this is a real champion because of how this fight ended. What are your thoughts on what Sekeletu needs to do or what this really means in terms of him having won this title? Although I must repeat, it's an interim title, of which I don't even think people should be fighting for an interim title, but here we are.
Interim titles are special, right? I rate interim titles because, yes, as much as you're a glorified number one contender, as far as being an interim title is concerned, it's the fight that you actually put into it, right? When Robert Whittaker beat Romero for the interim title, Bisping trying to rubbish it, but then look who went on to be a better champion out of the two of them, right? When Triple B came down on 10 hours notice and bagged that interim title, ain't nobody try. It's how you win it. When Stylebender bagged up his interim title against Gastelum, is that not the baddest fight you ever seen, right? So I'm not here trying to disrespect interim titles at all. Interim titles means interim titles, and sometimes, you know, you look at the way the fight was won with a verbal submission. That's a win-win, even on a DQ. Look at Aljo when Aljo first won the belt against Yao. I was celebrating with him. I know he got cussed by a lot of people, but listen, this is MMA. You got to get that belt. This, you know, when the belt is on the line, whether it's interim, whether it's undisputed, it puts you at the pinnacle, right? You're right there with the champion, just to how do you say, to unify the belts, right? And even if they don't want to unify, it still depends on the work that you're doing. Look at Tom Aspinall, interim title again, and look what he's done, even over the undisputed champion in John Jones himself, right? So for me, I think that interim title that he got there is now for him to go and try and unify the undisputed. Maybe if he's if he's feeling generous, you know, it might give somebody another chance, maybe before actually in a way like defending the interim title. If the undisputed champion is not available yet, maybe you can do an interim title like bout. We saw, we've seen it plenty of times. We've seen it plenty of times when the interim title has been on the line. So for me, this guy has done a fantastic job. Sekeletu has done a fantastic job of at least winning that belt, and then what the cards in his hands, the cards in his hands now. He can make what demands he wants, and he can go right at the undisputed champion and get a challenge that way and see if he can unify the belt successfully. So for me, not a big problem at all. I like what he did.
Look, I think you are right, especially with the fact that the title is currently with Iga Smiley Cabeza, the GOAT, and he's injured and won't be fighting. I'm not too sure how much longer he'll be out, but obviously it was 120. It was only 4 months ago where he got a severe head injury, so he's still got a bit of time. But he hasn't fought for that featherweight title since defeating Ken's training partner, Humphrey Mulenga, for that title. No, actually, that was a lightweight bout. Sorry, that's when he won the lightweight title.
Yeah,
so he hasn't actually fought at featherweight for a very long time. The questions about stripping start to come up, similar to the stripping of the other GOAT, John Jones, which is very interesting.
What stripping are you talking about?
I'm just saying, if you're holding a title for too long, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, but what stripping? John Jones didn't be stripped. I've never heard of John Jones be stripped.
I didn't say he's been stripped. I said there are whispers in certain quarters about holding titles without fighting.
Fuck the whispers, man. You know what I mean? But the whispers, man. We're talking about the GOAT here, man. The dirty GOAT, man. The dirty GOAT. Show some respect, brother. Come on, please continue.
No Jones slander, as Crossover MMA says. Shout out everyone in the chats. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.